जाओ बाद में दे पिक वाला
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the first live session for the subject Strategies for Sustainable Design. This is the first live session for the run of the subject this year. I see several people have joined. I'll wait for some more time, see if others are joining, and then we'll start the session. I hope you all can hear me. If anyone could just indicate you can hear me, you can either write in the chat box that you can hear me, or you can even unmute yourself and tell me that you can hear me. I see Ashwini, Kishan, K. Maheshwari. I see Manish, Priyanka. I see Ramesh. I see Sneha and Vishakha. So if any one of you can just indicate if you can hear me.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. And can you see the screen that I am presenting?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. Okay. So welcome all. Welcome to the first session for this subject. I hope all of you have joined and registered for the session online on the Swayam portal. That is where you'll get all the updates about the course material that will be shared, and any further live sessions that will happen, and about the weekly quizzes that you need to submit as a part of your assignment. So in the live sessions, what we usually follow for the subject is that I discuss the questions which were given as assignment in the previous run of this subject. So not the current run, but the previous run of this subject, the questions which were given as assignment, I take up those questions and I solve those questions in the live session as a set of practice questions for you to understand how to solve the questions, how to go about the study material that is provided to you, what additional reference material you can search or you can refer to while answering your questions, or how using the reference material you can then further answer certain types of questions will be assigned to you. So that is how we go about the session. During the session or during the problem solving, if you find any additional doubts either in the problem or that I'm solving or related to that week's lectures, you can then further ask me if you have any doubts regarding that week's lecture, and I can cover that also. One thing which I won't do is I won't provide you the solutions or answers for any of the questions which are assigned to you in the current run, because you are supposed to supposed to solve those questions on your own, because they count towards your marks for this subject, and because you submit those assignments as a part of your evaluation. So do not ask me any of the questions that are assigned for this run, because I cannot solve them. I'll also try to give you examples of additional questions which are similar to the ones I'm solving, As this is the second run of live sessions I'm taking, I took these live sessions in 2023 also, and this is 2024 where again I'm taking these live sessions. So I have few examples of questions from the run in 2022 and 2023 both. I'm sorry, okay, so I did assignment questions from 2022 in 2023, and now I'll be doing assignment questions from 2023 in 2024. So I have two sets of questions, so I can help you understand both of them. So I'll give you some examples of the same material, how different types of questions regarding the same material can be formulated in kind of assignment questions or maybe even exam questions, and how you can go about solving them. So this is the general structure of the live sessions and how we go about the problem solving. Additionally, if you have any questions regarding the study material or uh, anything else which I'm explaining, you can go ahead and ask. You can either unmute yourself and ask your question, or you can even type your question in the chat box if you are unable to speak for some reason, or maybe connectivity issues or anything else. If you are unable to uh, unmute yourself and ask the question, you can even type your question in the chat box. I'll get to both, so you don't need to worry about anything. One another thing which is good, that all of these live sessions are recorded and they are uploaded on YouTube for you to access at a later time. So if for some reason you missed one live session, you can access it on a later date, as all of the sessions are recorded and uploaded. So either on the same day or the next day when the sessions happen, they will be recorded and uploaded. So you can access the sessions that way also. Another thing which you can do is that there is a doubt clearing forum, I think, or the forum where you can ask questions directly from the course instructor, who is Professor Shivaji from IIT Hyderabad. So on the forum, you can directly email to Professor Shivaji and ask him any other questions which I might be unable to cover, or I might be not having information about in so those questions you can further go ahead in the forum and ask Professor Shivaji directly. So I hope all of this so far is clear. I think another thing which I want to ask you all, that are you able to access our shared folder, our shared drive folder, where I'll be uploading all the weekly session material? Are you all able to access the folder? You can just write yes or no, or you can just say if you are unable to access it. Because if you haven't found the folder, you are unable to access the folder, I'll just tell you how to reach it. Okay, I see several people asking. Okay, so I'll just show you. Can you see my Swayam portal? Can you see the portal page which I'm sharing?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so this is the portal page. Here you, if you go to my courses and second, and from here you can go to the course. Okay, so okay, so I think it is not uploaded yet, the shared folder, but here you will get another option after, I think after the first session is concluded, you'll get another option here from where you can access the recorded videos, and then there is a shared folder also which you can access. I think okay. So, like you've gotten this reminder about the live session and you've gotten the link to join the live session. Again, you might also get the link to the shared folder here as well. So, with the live session, you can get, I think you can get, after the live session, you can get a link for the recording of the recorded video and for the shared folder. So, this is, I can show you. This is basically our shared folder where I'll upload all the files. Currently, I have only one PDF uploaded, which we are using in today's session. So you don't need to worry about it right now because I'll share the PDF during the session, and after the session, this material will be available to you anyway. So right now, I can't see that it is available, but after the session, I think NPTEL concerned people will share the folder with you. Okay. No, it is not in the English transcripts. English transcripts is basically the transcripts of the video lecture which is provided. So English transcripts is only the transcript of the lecture which are already there. So what I'll be providing you would be a recording of our live session, and in the live session, whatever material I have shown, so either in the form of a presentation or in the form of uh, or in some kind of other PDF or other resource which I have used, that is what I'll be sharing in that shared folder. Okay. So we have 25 people in total who have joined. Okay, let's wait for a few more minutes, see if any others join, and uh, then we'll start the session. If anyone of you has any doubts in accessing the lectures or any other material, you can ask in the meantime. Okay, I'm seeing two people who are, I think, from Vanasthali Vidyapith. I'm seeing Vishakha and Mahima. Am I correct in assuming that you guys are from Vanasthali?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so what course are you taking there?
Oh, ma'am, Bachelor of Design.
Okay. Uh, Anyone else who is currently in their bachelor's?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what course are you taking, Ananya?
Ma'am, I'm from Vanastali. Same course as Vishakha Bhole taking.
Okay. Okay. Anyone else there from any other institute in their bachelor's right now? Okay, I think Aparna also. Okay. So are there students who are currently doing their masters also? Okay, I see a lot of people who are in their bachelors. So all of you are from bachelors of design or some other course also?
Yeah, I am from Masters of Design.
Okay, masters of design. And from which institute?
MIT ID Pune.
Okay. Anyone else who is taking this course for some other purpose, maybe as a pre-PhD course or anything else?
Yeah, I am taking.
Okay. Shreya.
Yes.
Okay. And from which institute?
Ma'am, actually, I am doing PhD from University of Mysore. So my topic is much relevant to meditation and built environment.
Okay.
So I just want to know about the parameters and how to do that data analysis. That was a little difficult for me. So that's why I have chosen this thing because much of the meditation spaces are made up of sustainable design only that
Okay.
are related to nature.
Hmm.
तो बस इसी को कंपेयर करना है और वो कैसे होगा वो आई वांट टू लर्न दैट आई वांट टू लर्न
Okay. Great to know. So, just a preface before we begin the session that there are people from all backgrounds. So, be it bachelor's, be it master's, there are some from pre PhD courses also, and there are a lot of students sometimes who take it, uh, who take these courses as a supplementary course or to prepare maybe for some exams like GATE or something else. So, just a word of caution to everyone that a lot of the times the way we discuss the questions or the study material will be very generic in uh, for the sake that it is understandable for everyone, doesn't matter from which academic background or which level of study that they have completed. The course is designed and also the live sessions are delivered in a way that it is understandable even to someone who doesn't have a very what you can say extensive background on the course that is strategies for sustainable design. And I really hope that you can get whatever you all are expecting from this course, but bear with us if even if you feel that sometimes we go into very much detail about very basics of some aspects of the sustainable design or sustainable design strategies that we are discussing. So I think that is enough introduction for this course, and I think we can start today's session. So, welcome to today's session. I am Nikita Ranjan. I am a teaching assistant for this subject, Strategies for Sustainable Design. I am from IIT Roorkee. The course instructor for this subject, as I said, is Professor Shivaji. He is from IIT Hyderabad, and this is the first live session for week 1. So this is related to all of the lectures and study material that we have covered in week 1. So we'll be solving some problems from previous runs based on uh, whatever we have covered in week 1. So these are the lectures that have been covered in week 1. These include first an introductory lecture on strategies for sustainable design, in which the course overview, course structure, and what we'll be covering in this entire week or in the entire course itself, that would have been explained. Second, second is the second lecture would be on various perspectives around sustainability. So this lecture basically introduces the concept of sustainability and tells you about how sustainability is perceived in various different ways, how the understanding of sustainability evolved over time. So from where it originated, how different key figures historically changed the perspective of sustainability or its definition or how it is understood, what are the key components which we think of whenever we talk about sustainability. Those things would have been covered in this lecture. Also, how different cities or different countries measure on different scales of sustainability or different indexes or metrics which we adopt for sustainabilities. What are certain kinds of metrics which are commonly known sustainability metrics, how different countries fare on that, how different income classes or different consumer classes fare on that sustainability spectrum, how consumption in different ways can affect sustainability, and those kind of metrics and general measuring indexes would also have been discovered in this lecture. The last lecture would be spheres of energy efficient, green, environmental, and sustainable design. So, sustainability also has various aspects, or there are several branches of uh, sustainable design strategies that can be further segregated. So either it can be energy efficient design, it can be green design, it can be environmentally friendly design or environmentally sensitive design. So there are all different aspects or branches of sustainable design strategies that exist, and this lecture basically introduces that okay, these are the several types of classifications based on what area you are focusing in the sustainable design strategies. So this week is sort of an introductory week. It introduces the concept, it introduces various aspects of sustainability and sustainable design. So the questions that we'll be covering again follow the same material. They revolve around uh, what is sustainability and what are different aspects of sustainable design. I'm sorry. Okay. So the first question for this session is in which year was the term sustainability officially coined by Gro Harlem Brundtland? So, all of you know who Gro Harlem Brundtland is? Does anyone know? Okay, Manish is saying he doesn't know. Okay, would anyone like to answer? Okay, Nilanjana is saying Brundtland Commission, and you're right. Yes, she is related to the Brundtland Commission. What was the Brundtland Commission about? So, has anyone of you heard about our common future? Okay, you're saying defining the concept of sustainability. Yes, that was a part of it, but it was about much more. Okay, let's see. So, this question is basically related to sustainable development or how sustainability is defined or how the term was coined, and then uh, how the opinion or perception of uh, the giants of sustainability discussions shaped the term or the definition of the term. So either this question is about when the term was officially coined, so it talks about a particular period in time when the Brundtland report came, and then this term sustainability was defined. Another question related to the definition of sustainability, which might come or which revolves around the same idea, is maybe you can this previous question was, it was you were asked in which year the term was coined, and then again you can get questions which ask about the definition of sustainability or what sustainability means. So it can be a question like this, which is sustainable is, then you are given a definition with a fill in the blank. So sustainable is conserving an ecological balance by avoiding dash of natural resources. So uh, is it augmentation, depletion, agglomeration, or dispersion? So what does it mean? So it basically revolves around how we define sustainability, who defined sustainability, when the term originated, etc. So sustainability is basically an adjective, and its dictionary definition is that we are able uh, that something is able to be maintained at a certain rate or a certain level, and we can conserve an ecological balance by avoiding depletion of natural resources. So our fundamental commitment to sustainable development is defined or is perceived as sustainability according to the dictionary definition. Again, while we talk about the Brundtland Commission or the Brundtland Report, so the Brundtland Commission or the Brundtland Report came from the World Commission on Environment and Development, the WCED. It was also known as the Brundtland Commission because the chairman of the commission was Gro Harlem Brundtland, who actually coined the term and provided a definition uh, for for sustainability during this commission. So, at the conclusion of this commission, a report was published which is known as Our Common Future, and it stated that the governments cannot address environmental protection separately from other related crises such as economic development and energy production and several other things. It also outlined a blueprint for dealing with several interlocking crises simultaneously, and based on that, the concept of sustainability was evolved. So, the definition of sustainability that was evolved from this commission or from in this final report, it said that sustainability is to make development sustainable. That is to ensure that it meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generation to meet their own needs. So this is, I think, the most common and the most known definition of sustainability, which we know today, or which a lot of people generally know today, and this is the source of the definition. So it comes from the WCED 1987, and this is what the definition says. Again, there were further modifications, like there is D.K. Ching's definition, which again says that local and external contexts are also necessary to consider for building design processes, and without which one cannot proceed. So, Brundtland Commission presents a very general definition of sustainability. It just says that we need to ensure that we can meet both the present requirements and we can meet the requirements of the future generations. We need to use our resources in that way. So whatever we use, either enough of it is left so that future generations can use it, or it can be regenerated uh, at a rate that it again will be available for the future generation. So this is what Brundtland's definition says. But again, D.K. Ching's definition says that this is a general statement. Again, local and external contexts need to be taken into account while designing either buildings or other things. So, the definition on its own is okay, but the local context, the sensitivity to the local context is also necessary, specifically while designing buildings or other things. So I have also provided 2 links to you if you want to know more about the WCET or about the report Our Common Future or the commission. So this is a link to UN's old website. So this is the report of the World Commission on Environment and Development, which is Our Common Future, and here you can get the report. So these are PDFs. You can get these in different languages, but I think English would be preferable for all of you. So you can get it in a PDF form, and you can download the report from here, and you can access it for your own purposes. Again, there is a link to the new website also. This is actually this link is an archive link, leads to the old archives where the report is available. This is the new website or the new platform for details about the WCED. So this contains the latest information about SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals, sustainability SDG summits, or other related events related to sustainability that are happening. So I have provided you with both the links. So this is for the old one and this is for the new one. So if you want to further read about any of this or further want any other information about either uh, the report of Brundtland Commission or other sustainability issues, so you can refer to those. So I think it is clear now that what sustainability is and how you can go about solving questions related to the concept of sustainability. Another thing is that sustainability is sometimes defined as a formula also. So if you say that consumption or C consumption is the amount of human consumption of uh, uh, natural water and energy or natural resources, and R is the amount of natural regeneration of all the natural resources like water and energy that is happening, and S is the amount of restoration of the natural resources which is happening. So our consumption of all the natural resources should always be less than our restoration of the natural resources plus how much the natural resources are regenerating on their own. So this is what is sustainability. So however much natural resources or water or energy we consume, it should always be less than what we are either restoring to its natural condition or what is naturally regenerated in nature. So this is a way in which you can define sustainability in terms of a formula also. So this is all related to how sustainability is defined and different ways you can understand it. Then again, we have another question related to the Brundtland's definition or sustainability, which asks that the term sustainability is a combination of which 3 aspects as per the Brundtland's definition. And you have several options: environment, social, and energy; environment, energy, and economic; energy, economic, and social; or environmental, social, or economic. So as you might remember from the definition, we saw that it clearly highlights that governments cannot address different aspects separately. So you can't have environment separately, economic development separately, and other crises related to social, maybe social aspects, maybe other aspects. You can't treat them separately. If we want to achieve sustainability, we have to go about combining all of those aspects and finding a common way to solve different problems by integrating various aspects of either environment or social aspects or economic aspects. Another way in which this question might be asked is this way, that you are given two aspects and then you are asked to identify what the third aspect is. So for example, you will be asked that the three aspects of sustainability are social, environmental, and dash, and from the options you need to choose which aspect. So this is the diagram which you need to remember while answering this question, that social, economic, and environmental are the three aspects of sustainability. Just give me one moment. Okay. So, social, economic, and environmental, these are the three aspects which you need to consider uh, while uh, while formulating the aspect of sustainability, or while understanding sustainability. And this is also related to the Brundtland definition, as the Brundtland definition stated that all these aspects need to be considered together. You can't focus on one aspect, leaving other aspects. I see someone's hand raised. Do you have any question?
Yes, in the Brundtland Commission report, as we mentioned, the
Mhm.
previous slide, isn't energy also written as an aspect? So shouldn't it be energy, economic, and environment? Why did we choose social? I did not get that.
Okay, so energy can be a part of environmental aspects or economic aspects also, but uh, she specifically mentions that there are other crises also which need to be considered. So the crisis can be related to other aspects, like uh, who are the people who will use the natural resources, who it should go to. Are there some people who are exploiting the resources more than another person? So there are aspects of environmental justice that also come in, uh, aspects about natural resource stewardship that comes in. Then again, there are aspects of social and economic. So when we use natural resources to gain something out of them, so we make some kind of profit, or we get something out of them, so who should be accessing those profit? Are all of the people on globally accessing the profits equally? Are some people accessing the profits more, some people are accessing the profits less? Are there people who are working towards gaining those profits, or working towards producing those profits, but actually they are not accessing the benefits? So things like worker rights or fair trade, business ethics, all of those aspects also come. So energy is uh, a subset of many of these things. So it can be a part of environment also, so how we use natural resources to produce energy. It can be a part of economics also. So energy, uh, so we have cost saving energy sources, or techniques to use energy which can be cost saving, or there are corporation profiting off of producing energy from fossil fuels? Are there other ways we can profit off of energy, producing renewable energy? So then it becomes an economic phenomena also, how energy is used. And then energy becomes a social phenomena also. So there are energy inequalities. A lot of population still doesn't have access to uh, energy for their day-to-day use also, and a lot of global population is even using energy which is more than uh, the carrying capacity of the globe. So then social issues also arise. So if you see that way, uh, the definition says that there are a lot of multiplicity of aspects related to sustainability. It's not only environment, it's not only that we need to use less resources, protect the forest, protect the environment, because we need to gain some economic profit also, because we have to sustain population. So we need to provide jobs, we need to provide economic output so that we can sustain our populations. But then how the profits or how the natural resources are divided among people, so then social issues also arise. So these are the three aspects which always come into play whenever we talk about sustainability, and that is what uh, the Brundtland Commission definition of sustainability points towards, that there are various aspects, and these various aspects need to be considered while we talk about sustainability. So I hope this was clear.
Thank you, ma'am. Yes.
Okay, great. Again, I hope I made this clear. And this is another resource which I have given to you. This is a paper uh, which discusses various barriers and incentives for environmental sustainability in uh, for sports events. But it basically discusses the aspect that how the sustainability paradigm is not only one thing, but it is related to social, economic, and environmental different aspects, and there are subsets or intersections of many of these aspects which work together. So this is the source of uh, 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 this figure or this concept, or source is actually not this source is actually the Brundtland definition, but the of this definition, the source is the Brundtland Commission and the definition of sustainability. But then this paradigm has been adopted by several other academics and several other studies. And for example, this is one study which shows you how the sustainability paradigm can be used to understand environmental sustainability in various aspects. So, for example, in this aspect, they try to understand environmental sustainability in small scale action sports events. So there are various aspects of sustainability related to small scale sports events also. So this is one example which if you want you can refer to. It can help you understand that how all three aspects, like for example I have explained, but if you want further examples, you can refer to this study which will explain how different aspects are present in any kind of sustainability. If we discuss any kind of sustainability, there are several aspects. There's not only environmental aspect, which a lot of people confuse sustainability, that it's only environmental aspects. There are other things also associated with sustainability. So I hope that is clear. We move on to the next question. So the next question is, consumption as per sustainability should always be lesser than what? So again, this is related to defining sustainability, how sustainability is defined. And as you remember, we discussed this definition in terms of how sustainability can be defined as an equation. So we discussed that consumption should always be less than amount of natural resources that are regenerated in nature, and the amount of restoration that we do for to restore those resources. So you can see that consumption as per sustainability should always be lesser than restoration and regeneration. So again, this is very easy, following the same thought process as earlier. Moving on to the next question, which is, which class of people as consumers are expected to triple by the year 2030? Okay, so this is uh, the part which I mentioned, that there are several metrics presented in the paper which talk about sustainability, how we measure sustainability, how we rank different cities, how we see which classes are consuming how much, contributing to resource consumption, contributing to emissions, or other things. So related to that, this question is talking about people as consumers. So this question talks about that which class of people as consumers are expected to be triple by the year 2030. So there are several studies related to this kind of data. So basically, uh, you might know that low income class people, they comparatively use lesser amount of resources or lesser amount of natural resources as compared to the middle income group, which comparatively uses higher amount of natural resources compared to the lower income. And then there is high income group, which is the highest consumer in terms of consumption of any natural resources, which either need to be restored or regenerated for sustainability to be maintained. So this questions pertains to the fact that researchers or people studying this phenomena, they have found out that people in the middle income class are increasing gradually, and by the year 2030 they are expected to be triple. So a lot of people who were in the low income class, they are going to become middle income class consumers, and the consumption of natural resources is going to grow accordingly. So this is the data pertaining to that. So this is what I found in the lectures. So this is based on a study done by Goldman Sachs, which indicates that the number of middle class consumers worldwide is expected to triple by 2030. So the answer to this you can easily solve using this information. However, more important it is to know and understand how this research is done, how we calculate what are lower income, middle income, and high income consumers, what is the rate, or how the amount of consumption differ from lower income to middle income groups. So I have linked two reports. Both the reports are done by Goldman Sachs. So this is a report on global economics, commodity and strategy research, which again presents a similar graphic regarding the different world middle class, or middle class of different cities in the world, and how it is expanding slowly. And again, this is another study which is the Asian Consumer Report by Goldman Sachs. And this again shows some data or information about different kinds of consumers. So lower income, middle income, and higher income consumers, how consumption varies, and how consumption varies by countries, and it largely focus on the countries in Asia, so Asian countries. So as you can see in this graphic also, it shows that uh, the people who were in the middle class, or the middle class consumers, in the 1960s their population was very low, and as we move towards 2050, or we move further, their population is steadily increasing. So this report was done in 2008. So somewhere here, the data till here is probably the as is data, or the ground truth, and the data after that is extrapolated data, or data which is generated by seeing the current growth trends which are there. So according to the extrapolation of existing growth trends, you can see that in China, it is supposed to increase the population of the middle class consumers is supposed to increase and be at its peak in the mid 2020s. For India, it is supposed to increase, and the peak middle class consumer population is supposed to reach in somewhere around mid 2040s. And for the rest of the world, excluding India and China, it is supposed to increase steadily somewhere around till mid 2040s. And if you consider all of the world, so India, China and rest of the world combined, it is again supposed to increase very steeply after the 2000s, and the peak will be somewhere around 2040. So this is what the projections suggest according to these studies, that the middle class consumer population is steadily increasing, and so accordingly even the consumption of natural resources is also steadily increasing. If you want to access these studies, you can go and click these links. So this is the first study which I told you about. So it tells you about the global economics, commodities and strategies research. So you can go and you can see how the income brackets are defined, and according to the income brackets, what is the level of consumption or how the consumers are decided. And then again here, if you see a similar graphic which is represented there about the projections. So as I said, 2008 is when this report was generated. So till 2008 you can see this is the data, or as is data or the ground truth which has been taken. And after 2008 there are projections of how the middle class or middle class consumer group, which is said to be people with having the income between $6,000 to $30,000 during 2008, how that class of consumers will increase with time. So I hope this is clear. So if you want, you can access this document. You can just click this link to access the document. I'll provide this PPT to you in our shared folder, and using that folder or using the PPT you can access this link. Then this is again another report from Goldman Sachs. It is about the Asian consumer, and this report largely focuses on the Indian consumer or consumers in India. So if you want to further know about different classes of consumers in India and how consumption in India is varying or how it is changing throughout time, you can further access this report. So I hope that is helpful, and that can really help you understand how the different classes. So what are the criteria for deciding that this is the lower income group, this is the middle class or middle class consumer group, and this is the higher income or higher class consumer group, based on maybe their income. Sometimes it's even based on their consumption level. So often how much someone is consuming is decided based on their income. So but even after their income, there is some amount of disposable income that someone has. So you'll have to, I have not checked these reports in detail, that you'll have to check for your own, that these incomes are these disposable incomes that have been mentioned, or if this is just the entire income of the people that is referred to in this data. So you can further go and try to understand that what are the metrics that are used in calculating these different types of consumer population and how it is changing. And then you can even further understand how this change can affect sustainability or our sustainable development goals as the population or the economy changes and adjusts throughout the time. So I hope this was clear. Kritika, you have raised your hand. Is the
Yes, I
consumer
have.
range based on sustainable resources? That you'll have to check in the report itself, because and I don't understand what you mean by sustainable resources. So it basically means any kind of consumption or any kind of consumer behavior that is done by these people, or any kind of consumption that is done by these people, all of that is taken into account. So it can be directly natural resource consumption or other resources which are made using natural resources. So we don't make anything we make or develop is derived from natural resources. So even uh, synthetic materials or man-made materials, we make them using natural resources. So we get either minerals or other natural resources, and then we use energy, we consume certain amount of energy to then further process and develop them into certain synthetic materials which we use. But even in doing so, we do use natural resources. So when we talk about this consumption or the consumer behavior, we take into account everything, uh, or all of the natural resources that are being consumed. So when we talk about, even if we consider some synthetic resources or energy or anything, it is derived from natural resources or the natural resources present within the earth's ecosystem or present on earth. So when we generally talk about consumers, it takes into account everything. So it is usually not doesn't go into detail about what kind of resources they use, but it tries to take income or uh, disposable income or the kind of expenditure people have. So focusing on the income or expenditure, it takes that as a proxy indicator of how much you are consuming. So based on certain income or certain expenditure that a household or a consumer has, you assume that okay, this person has this kind of income or this kind of disposable income or this kind of expenditure. So based on that, uh, this is the amount of natural resources that this person is consuming. I understand that it varies from person to person, but these metrics which are used, they are taken or developed after a lot of research and a lot of averages and other means and medians are derived from this research to come to a conclusion that okay, person with this kind of income, this kind of disposable income, is probably using, on an average, is using this amount of natural resources or is consuming this amount of natural resources. And from that we assume that okay, people within this income group will consume this amount of natural resources, and with another income group will consume another amount of natural resources. And based on those assumptions, we then further calculate how the consumer classes are changing. So I hope that is clear, Kratika.
Yeah. Yes, yes.
Okay, great. Any other questions? Anyone else has any questions about this? Okay. So we move on further. If you still have any questions, you can just type it in the chat box and I can go again through them further at the end of the session. Or you can again ask at the end of the session as well if you still have any questions about anything that we have discussed so far. Okay, so our next question is, as per the Sustainable Cities Index of 2016, which city ranked highest in Asia? And you have four options: Singapore, Dubai, Hong Kong, and Doha. Again, there is a similar question which talks about which city leads the way on urban sustainability, and you have Dubai, Zurich. Doha and Sydney. So this first question is talking about the most sustainable city or city ranking most highly in terms of sustainability in Asia, and the second question is asking the same question but about urban sustainability all over the globe. So not only in Asia but all over the globe. So these both are very similar questions and they follow the concept or the Sustainable Cities Index. So, as I said, there are several ways of measuring sustainability. So, for example, in this question here, we were using the amount of consumption or how we are consuming natural resources. We were using that as a metric of seeing sustainability. So, the more we consume, or the more amount of uh, certain kind of income population is increasing, the more consumption is increasing. So in order to counter that consumption, we need to further prepare more plans for restoration or regeneration of natural resources. So that was one metric of seeing sustainability. This Sustainable Cities Index is another metric of seeing sustainability, and how it sees sustainability in terms of urban sustainability. So how sustainable a city is. So this is done by the Arcadis Sustainable City Index. So this city index has been prepared by Arcadis, and it basically measures the sustainability of different cities around the globe. It has prepared an index, and according to the index, it measures sustainability around different cities around the globe, and then compares sustainability among them and sees which cities are performing better in which aspects and which cities are lagging behind, and then it's a sort of a comparison. So urban sustainability encourages revitalization and transition of urban areas and city to improve livability, promote innovation, and reduce environmental impacts while maximizing economic and social co-benefits. So again, it follows that three-part concept of sustainability, that it doesn't only ask to reduce environmental impacts, but it also says that you have to reduce environmental impacts while maximizing the economic benefits that are produced, and you also have to ensure that the economic benefits that are produced from using natural resources, that are shared equally among people, and there are co-benefits for all of the groups in the society. So it should then, based on this, it should promote things like livability, it should promote innovation from the use of certain resources and economic production. While doing all of this, you need to ensure that you are producing as less of environmental impacts as possible. So this is what the concept of RKD's sustainability index is. So this question asks you about the index of 2016, but I have provided you the link to the updated index as well. So 2016 I think was when this course was designed. So when this course was designed, this was the latest um, index calculation that was available. So that is why this question asks you about the 2016 index. However, after that, a new assessment in the year 2022 has also been done by Arcadis about the Sustainable City Index. So you can refer to that as well. So I'll just take you to this link here. Okay, so this is the 2016 Sustainable Cities Index. This is the summary, and I don't know how much you can see. but this is the index. So this page actually shows you how they have created the index. So you can again see the same three components: the social component, the environmental component, and the economic component. So these are the three pillars of sustainability which are generally followed by everyone while understanding, calculating sustainability. So again, this uh, index also follows the same three components, and based on that it has defined how it measures sustainability in the cities. And then this is the ranking of various cities which it has provided. So you can see on the top we have Zurich, on the second number we have Singapore, and then you can see there is blue, green and red. So blue, green and red, they correspond to these three aspects. So blue is for social aspects, green is for environmental aspects, and red is for economic aspects related to sustainability. So you can see here that these cities, they not only do well in terms of environmental sustainability, but they also perform well in terms of social sustainability and economic sustainability. So on the first is Zurich, and on the second number is Singapore. So you can see here Singapore is an Asian city, so it is very clear. Zurich is in Switzerland, it is in Europe, so it is a European city, and Singapore is an Asian city. So I think it is clear from this that the answer for this question will be Singapore. So as per the 2016 Sustainable Cities Index, the highest Asian city or the highest ranked Asian city is Singapore. But if another question like this comes, which talks about globally which city has been highest or best ranked in terms of urban sustainability, then you saw it is Zurich. So I hope that is clear. Again, if you want to access, you can access the new Sustainable City Index as well. So there are some changes in how they have measured sustainability. However, it is not very different, but it is how how they measure or how they evaluate sustainability. There must be some changes, and how different cities are performing, that also has changed over time. So if you want to compare how cities fared in the first assessment in 2016, or in the earlier assessment in 2016, and how they fared in later assessments, or in the latest assessment in 2022, that also you can see. This is taking a while to load. Okay, so you see the page here. This is the 2022 Sustainable Cities report. So you can click on to here and download the report. If you want to further study how different cities, how their performance has changed over time, you can even access the archives of Arcadis. So you can see here you have the 2018 rankings, you have the 2016 rankings, and you even have the 2015 rankings. So starting from 2015, you can again see how the rankings have changed for cities over time. If you want to download the latest report, you click on to this link here, or this pop-up here, and you can put in your details, your email, and little description about you and where you belong to, and then you can get your copy. I have already, if you don't want to do that, I have already downloaded a copy for you, and I have uploaded it in the shared folder. This is the 2022 report. Okay. So again, we start with this executive summary, and we redefine the the three pillars. So planet pillar, which is closely linked to the environmental sustainability, people pillar linked to the social sustainability, and profit pillar linked to the economic sustainability. So again, based on the same or similar parameters or similar criteria, the cities have been ranked again, and in this way the results have been provided. So you can see Oslo in this time Oslo ranks 1, and this is their overall rank, and then again they rank uh, based on that they're doing well in terms of economic or environmental or social sustainability. You can see it. So it is going from 100 this way also and this way also. So this way tells the ranks of different aspects, and this way tells the overall rank. So the overall rank for Oslo is 1, and but uh, rank 1 for Oslo is for planet, but it doesn't do so well, I think, in terms of uh, social and profit or economic aspects, and you can see the same for uh, other cities also, how they perform according to different aspects. This red circles represents their overall rank, and the other circles represent their specific ranks or performance in each of the aspects. Okay, coming back now, I think these links will help you a lot in answering this question and in understanding how sustainability indexes are evolved and how you can measure the sustainability of various cities. So this is measuring the urban sustainability or the sustainability of various cities. So this is another example of metric that we use to see how sustainability is seen in cities or in urban areas. Okay, moving on to the next question. So the next question is, as per the Trias Energetica concept, what is the first effort to be taken while consuming energy or while designing a structure that will consume energy? So you have several options. Either use sustainable sources of energy or produce and use fossil fuels as efficiently as possible, or reduce the demand for energy by avoiding waste and implementing energy saving measures, or uh, do not use energy from fossil fuels. So as I mentioned earlier, that even in sustainability there are various branches of how you conceive sustainability or how you further sustainability. So either you can be energy efficient, or you can be environmentally sustainable, you can reduce your environmental impacts, or you can become environmentally sensitive, or there are several other ways in which how uh, or there are several subsets of sustainability on which you can focus while achieving sustainability. So energy efficiency is one such concept, and Trias Energetica is a concept which relates to energy efficiency or energy efficiency part of sustainability. It focuses on how we consume energy and what kind of energy we should consume. So this is the concept. So it is a model developed by the Delft University of Technology as a guideline in pursuit of economically interesting CO2 reduction in the construction sector. However, it was created for that, but then from that, uh, it got adopted in other sectors also, and it describes achievement of CO2 reduction or uh, energy use minimization or sustainable energy use in three different steps or three consecutive steps. The first step being minimizing the demand of energy use. Second step is switching over to renewable resources, so reducing the use of non-renewable resources or fossil fuel based resources. and switching over to renewable resources like maybe solar, maybe wind energy, maybe hydropower, etc. And the third is the efficient use of resources. The first is that you minimize the demand of the energy that you need. Second is you switched over to renewable resources. And third, the amount of resources you are using and the amount of output that you're getting from the use of resources, you increase the per unit amount of output from per unit use of uh, the energy sources that you're using. So that is increasing the efficiency and use of any kind of energy. So this is the Trias Energetica model, which describes a three consecutive step approach to achieving sustainability or achieving sustainable use of energy systems. It was originally developed to reduce CO2 production in the construction sector, but then this concept or this method proved to be useful for energy use or sustainable energy use in other sectors also. So it was then adopted for other sectors as well. Coming back to our question asks that as per this concept, what is the first effort to be taken? So we see here the first effort which needs to be taken is to minimize the demand, or how much we need the energy to minimize that. So you can see the third option here states that reduce the demand for energy by avoiding waste and implementing energy saving measures. So you can see clearly other uh, not using energy from fossil fuels, again that is related to switching over to renewables. Produce and use fossil fuels as efficiently as possible, again not uh, more related to the second step, or switching over to renewables, reducing fossil fuel usage, and use of sustainable sources of energy. Again, sustainable sources of energy, we largely mean renewable sources which can be regenerated or restored in the environment more easily in a shorter duration of time as compared to fossil fuels, which take a very long time to get regenerated and restored in the environment through natural processes. So again, we can see all the other options are related to the second option, which is switching over to uh, renewable resources. Only the third option in this is relates to the first step, which is minimizing the demand, or minimizing how much energy we are using, either by avoiding wastage of energy or by implementing different kinds of energy saving measures in our energy usage practices. So I hope this was clear. I have also linked the paper uh, which evolved this concept. So if you just click onto that link, it will take you to this paper which has evolved this concept. Okay. So this is the paper Energy Saving and Efficiency by Eddie Anson, and this is uh, the concept which first adopts the Trias Energetica concept for energy efficiency, and then it explains in a little detail about uh, the different aspects of this concept. So primary and secondary energy, the CO2 emissions related to different type of energy usages, uh, also uh, what are the different technologies of energy conservation which are there, which can be used to either increase the efficiency or other aspects related to energy consumption. So if you want to go into details about this, you can go to this paper and you can read further. Next, let's move on to the next question. Any doubts so far? Okay, I'm not seeing any questions, so I'm moving ahead. So the next question is, which of the following goal is not building related? So if in general, if a question related to goal or goals are asked to you, you need to understand that the goals that this question is talking to you about is related to the sustainable development goals or the SDGs. So how many SDGs are there? Can anyone tell me? 17. Yes, there are 17. Chahima is asking if the recording of session will be available. Yes, the recording of all live sessions will be available. Okay, so that is the correct answer, that there are 17 total sustainable development goals. So all of them are different. They focus on different aspect of global sustainability, and this question is asking that which of those goals is not related to buildings. So it says asks if it is goal 11 or 12 or 13 or 14. So another kind of questions related to sustainable development goals which can be asked to you is that how many goals are there, which is the question which I just asked, that United Nations developed n number of UN SDG goals, which is 70. So these are some kind of questions which can be asked. So this question which is asking that which of the goals are not related to building. So we can see goal 11 is sustainable cities and communities. So whenever we talk about sustainable cities and communities, we do talk about buildings in the cities as well, how buildings are made, how they are created, how they are decomposed, their total life cycle, everything related to buildings in the cities are related to sustainable cities and sustainable communities. So obviously 11 is not the answer, because SDG 11 is related to buildings. Then there is goal 12. Goal 12 talks about responsible consumption and production. So it talks about responsible consumption and production of natural resources. So uh, the way in how we consume natural resources and the way how we produce certain objects or certain products by using natural resources, that should be responsible. So we shouldn't use natural resources in the way that they cannot be regenerated or restored to their natural state in enough time that again they are available to be used by the next generation. So that way this goal talks about responsible consumption and production. So obviously it is related to buildings, because in buildings we use a lot of energy, both in the construction, in the operation, and then further in the demolition, or throughout the entire life cycle of the building we use uh, natural resources, energy sources, a lot of other things. So again we can't say that goal 12 is not related to buildings, because it is. Then comes goal 13, which is climate action. So this goal talks about the actions we take to deal with the impacts of climate change, or to reduce the impacts of climate change, and how we can mitigate the impacts of carbon production that is taking place because of the several human activities and such things. So this is what this goal talks about. So obviously again this goal is related to buildings, because a key factor in reduction of carbon is reduction of carbon coming from the construction industry, because construction industry is again an industry which uses a lot of natural resources, and then in the process of construction of buildings it produces a lot of carbon emission. which then further leads to global warming or other climatic phenomena or uh, climate change. So again, we can't say that buildings are not related to climate action or sustainable building practices are not related to climate action. So again, we can't say that goal 13 is not related to building. Then we have goal 14, which is life below water. So this goal largely talks about marine life or life present in other aquatic ecosystems. So again, maybe in some way you can say that uh, how building debris decompose, it might be related, but largely this sustainable goal is not related to the building sector or the construction sector. So we can say among all these four options, option 4, which is goal 14, it is the least related or almost not related to buildings. Another thing which you can do, I have provided the link to the UN SDGs website, so you can just go to this link and you can see all the 17 goals here. So if you click to a particular goal, so for example this goal 11, cities, you can go to more info about that. If you go to this page, you will see the overview of that goal, how it is faring, what are the key events that have been taken, and what the UN has published regarding that particular goal. Another thing which is important for you to see are the targets and indicators of that goal. So first target is by 2030 we need to ensure access for all to adequate, safe and affordable housing and basic services and to upgrade slums. So this is one target of the SDG 11, which is sustainable cities and communities. So one target is that we need to ensure that there is access for affordable housing to all people. So again, this is related to a social aspect of sustainability, that we need to ensure that affordable housing is available to all sections of the society, not only to the ones who have enough income to support themselves or provide high housing for themselves. So even housing and basic services needs to be uh, provided to even the lowest wage earners or lowest income groups, and even the people living in slums. The slums have need to be upgraded, and basic services need to be provided to people living in slums also, and this goal is to be achieved by 2030. You can further see the indicators also which are there, which are kept, so that how you can measure that if this goal is achieved or not. So to measure uh, this target, are we achieving this target or not, you have this indicator, which is the proportion of urban population that is living in slums, informal settlements, or who have inadequate housing. So when that proportion becomes very minimal or it becomes zero, then we can know that we have achieved this target of the SDG 11. Okay, so similarly, there are several other targets and indicators for them. So some targets have multiple indicators also. So if you want to further read about different sustainable goals and how what are the targets we need to accomplish in order to reach or fulfill that sustainable development goal, and what are the indicators or how we measure that have we reached that goal or have we reached that target or not, you can go and further see these targets or the targets and indicators. And this is available for almost this is available for all of the goals. So this is goal 11. uh, Same is available for goal 12 as well. So sustainable consumption and production, which is goal 12. So this is the overview. And again, you have the targets and indicators for the second goal. So the targets and the indicators. So I hope that was helpful. So you can just go on to this link of the UNSDG's website and you can access all of the goals and read further about them. So moving on to our next question, which is the highest rating given to a building by LEED? So anyone knows what LEED is? Tanmay is saying platinum. Okay. Okay. Do you guys know what LEED is? You are giving the answer, but do you know what LEED is? You can even unmute yourself and answer. Tanmay? Tanmay Chetan? Vishakha is saying that it is a green building rating system. Yes, that is correct. So LEED is basically uh, how we measured. Tanmay is also saying that it is a uh, certification leadership in energy and environmental design. Okay, correct. So not only it is a certification system for building, but it also certifies how sustainable or how energy efficient uh, the building and the associated environment is. So uh, obviously you can get LEED ratings for buildings, but uh, the rating or the certification systems can be used for the building and the built environment also. So uh, LEED is the full form is LEED is basically leadership in energy and environmental design. So the design can be for the building also, and it can be for the built environment or associated uh, environmental and governance benefits that are being generated from that building as well. So other aspects of the building are also considered. So LEED is basically the world's most widely used green building rating system or sustainability rating system. It is a certification that provides framework for healthy, highly efficient, and cost-saving green buildings which are offer environmental, social, and governance benefits, all of them. So it is globally recognized system for sustainability achievement, and it is backed by an uh, industry of other committed organizations which are associated with it. To achieve a LEED certification, your building or project it earns certain points based on certain criteria, and based on that points you get either platinum, gold, silver, or certified rating. So just certified means that yes, Anthony is saying that can we say LEED as an equivalent of IGBC? Okay, IGBC is also, yes, it is also metrics for green building rating or rating the greenness of or sustainability of a building. So yes, it is a similar index for rating the building, but these are two separate indexes. As this line also suggests, that LEED is the world's most widely used green building rating system, which essentially means that there are other rating systems as well, as you meant IGBC. So yes, there are other rating systems as well. It is not the only one which exists, but it is the most widely used ones or the most widely used one. So if you get 40 to 49 points on your project or on your building, that means that your project or your building is a LEED certified building. So it has achieved a certification enough to say that it is a leader in terms of energy efficiency and environmental friendly design. If you get 50 to 59 points, you get a silver. 60 to 79 points, you get a gold, and 80 or more points earns you a platinum. So you can see uh, that the highest rating which a building can get is the platinum rating. So these points are calculated for the project or for the building based on several different aspects. For example, the carbon uh, or the CO2 production, or the associated carbon, or the energy efficiency, how much water is being used, or maybe how much water is being harvested or restored, what is the waste production, how the waste management is handled, uh, what is the transportation associated with the building, so transportation of both the users of the building and maybe the materials that were needed to construct the building. Then what were the materials that were used, are they sustainable, are they not sustainable, what is are the health aspects related to the building, so the health aspects of both the inhabitants or the users and the associated environment as well. So then again, there is indoor environment quality. If it is a project with a significant amount of outdoor environment as well, the quality of that also figures in the calculation. So there are a lot of things which are taken into consideration while awarding these points. So if you want to further go ahead and read what are these considerations, I have given a link to the USGBC website, who has created this lead rating or the lead rating system. So you can go here and you can see what lead certified rating buildings are, how are they better, what are the aspects of energy and environmental design they focus on. You can even see examples of the best performing projects on their website, and different kinds of projects. So for example, there are lead certifications for entire cities or subsections of cities are also there, for residential buildings, for some kind of neighborhood development, also for interiors, for building design, then how the building is operated, also for that also you can get uh, uh, ratings or certifications. So this is their lead system goals, what lead wants to achieve. And then if you go further, you can also see how it works. So you can go visit these links of how it works. They also have a slide deck to demonstrate how it works and what is its value. And you can also see uh, they have available introductory courses of how lead can be used, how can you become uh, how you can become uh, person associated with the lead certification. I know there are professionals working with the lead certifications, working with uh, uh, they can get educational certifications from the lead to become evaluators, or who can help in the evaluation of uh, lead certified projects, or even can help it even can help you in conceiving or formulating project or a building which complies to the leads leads focus on energy efficiency and environmental friendly design. So if you want to read further, you can visit this link and go to the USGBC website. Okay. Moving on to the next question. So the next question is the building with the largest living wall in Europe, City Cape House, will be located in which city? So this was a project conceived, and it was a project conceived which will have the largest living wall, and it was conceived to be in one city of Europe. This is the project which we are talking about. This is the City Cape, and it is situated in London. So it is basically a house that it creates a distinctive architectural statement of a living wall. So while the conception of this project, it was said that it will absorb 8 tons of pollution annually, and it is setting standard for urban greening solutions in the city of London. So this is basically hospitality led mixed use building proposal, and by far it is known to have the largest green wall in Europe. It is a 5-star hotel, and also has a certain amount of workspace and a sky bar associated with the building, further having meeting and event spaces and recreational spaces as well. And it is situated on a prominent site in the city of London, and this building is seen to create an opportunity to broadcast fresh ideas about how built environment can address uh, certain issues like air quality improvement, mitigating climate change, and improving air pollution. So situating this kind of a building, which makes a distinctive architectural statement through its uh, unique green wall in a prominent site in the city, is supposed to create a sort of awareness and sensitivity to how built environment can be shaped in a way that it solves some of environmental solutions using some urban greening uh, concepts or some innovative urban greening concepts like having a green wall in the building. So this is the City Cape House, which this question is talking about. I think there are several examples in the lectures about green buildings or environmentally sensitive buildings or energy efficient buildings which are there. So this is one such example which is located in London, and this question is asking you about that. So I hope this is clear. If you want to read further about this building or the design of this building, I have provided the link of Shepard Robson, who is the architect or the people who have conceived this project. So this is their website. So if you want to read further about the City Cape House, you can visit their website. So you can see this is the project. So this is situated in a very prominent area of London, and this is the project. And you can then further read the details. You can even read the details about interior design of the building, and maybe you can, if you want, you can read about the other projects of Shepard Robson as well if you want. Okay, I hope this is clear. Okay, moving on to the next question. So this is the last question for today. This is that renewable energy in the form of electricity is produced by what? Photovoltaic cells, wind turbines, micro hydro turbines, all of these, or only A and B, photovoltaic cells and wind turbines. So what do you think? Which of these? Okay, am I saying all of these? Anyone who wants to contradict it? Who thinks not all of them produce electricity or renewable energy in the form of electricity? What about windmills? Do windmills produce electricity, or is that renewable energy converted into electricity? Okay, Kritika is saying only wind turbines and micro hydro turbine. Not PV cells, Kritika. What does PV cells do then? Okay. So I know it can be a little confusing sometimes because we hear about solar water heating appliances or solar water heating methods. So in that case, many a times solar energy is converted into heat and not electricity. Although in some cases it is first converted into electricity and then used to heat up water or anything else. But PV or photovoltaic cells, it basically converts solar into electricity. So do not get confused. Photovoltaic cells convert solar energy into electric energy. Is anyone confused about the wind turbines? Are windmills also the same? Do windmills also convert renewable energy, which is wind energy, into electricity? Does windmill or windmills convert uh, renewable energy into electricity or not? I'm not saying wind turbines. The question mentions wind turbines. I'm asking windmills.
Yes, they are responsible for producing electricity.
So windmills, I'm talking about the mills. Yes, Tanmay is saying windmills not producing electricity. Okay, so windmills are used for milling, so either milling grain or some other kind of thing. So it doesn't produce any electricity, it just harnesses the power from the wind to mill certain kind of grain. It's not producing electricity. However, wind turbines do produce electricity. So basically, windmills is a different thing and wind turbines are a different thing. So you need to focus on the question. So what the question is asking before answering. So that is why sometimes these questions can be tricky. Although in this case, the answer all of these do produce electricity. So that is the correct answer. But while answering other such questions, pay attention if it is saying wind turbines or windmills, or if it is saying solar heating systems, or is it saying photovoltaic cells. So pay attention to what particular component of the renewable energy it is talking about, because energy is available in form of electricity, but it is used in other forms also, because sometimes we need energy in the form of heat for heating water. So solar water heating panels or solar water heating systems, in as the end product we use the heating energy, not the electricity. Same, windmills, we use the physical force of the windmills or produced from the wind. So kind of mechanical energy that we use to mill uh, the flour or mill the grains that we are using. So pay attention to what component of the renewable energy we are talking. In this case, all of these answers are correct. So photovoltaic cells, they basically convert sunlight into electricity. A photovoltaic cell, it sometimes it converts sunlight directly into electricity, or sometimes even artificial light it can convert into electricity. So sunlight is composed of photons, and a PV cell is made of semiconductor, and when photons strike a PV cell, the absorbed photons provide energy to generate electricity. So if you want to further read about the functioning of how a photovoltaic cell functions, how energy is generated, I have linked an article about the functioning of PV cells. It is created by the US Energy Information Administration. That is quite reliable source. So from this you can further see how energy is generated inside a photovoltaic cell and how it is converted to electricity. Same, for wind turbines also work on the principle that the wind turns the propeller blades of the wind turbine, which is attached to a rotor, and that rotor in turn spins a generator, and this generator then creates electricity. So wind flows across the blades, creating pressure difference across the two sides of uh, the blade of the wind turbine, and then because of that the wind turbine turns, which is connected to a rotor. The rotor is connected to a generator, so as the wind turbine moves, uh, the rotor moves, which then is connected to the generator, which produces electricity. Okay, if you want to read further about how the system or the rotor system or of the turbine or the gearbox, how they work, you can further visit this link, which I'll also have attached about how turbines work. So in this link you will get information about the working of turbines. There are different kinds like horizontal axis turbines or vertical axis turbines. uh, you might know that there are land-based wind turbines also, and there are offshore wind turbines also. So offshore are the ones which are situated in the sea or near the shore, but away from the shore they are situated in the sea. So in many cases the amount of wind or the force of wind is greater in these places, offshore harvesting areas. So that is why many a times uh, the harvesting areas where the wind turbines are placed, they are offshore also. So you can learn about them also, about offshore wind turbines, how they generate electricity, why they are placed where they are. So if you want to know any more about any of that, you can just visit this link. Same about the functioning of hydropower turbines also. Hydropower turbines convert the energy stored in moving water and uses that energy to generate electricity. So here I think we are talking about micro hydro turbines. So there are larger hydro turbines which are usually situated near large dams or large bodies of water which have a greater force associated to them. However, micro hydro power plants are associated with smaller streams or smaller flowing water systems, and you can create a canal and a forebay and a penstock, and using that system you can uh, connect flowing water to your powerhouse and generate electricity on a smaller scale. That is why it is known as a micro hydropower. So it does not generate a lot of electricity, it can only generate up to 100 kilowatts of electricity. So any micro hydropower plant which generates up to 100 kilowatts of electricity is called a micro hydropower system. uh, so you if you want to further read about how what are the different components of micro hydropower turbines or the systems and how they can be used, uh, they can be used to uh, provide electricity for things like large home, a small resort, maybe a hobby farm. In many such places, such kind of micro hydropower systems are installed. So if you want to further learn about that, you can visit this link which I have provided, which tells you more about how micro hydropower systems are installed, and what are the different components and how electricity is generated using these turbines, and what are the different types of turbines, what are the different pumps and water wheels associated with that. If you want more information, you can visit this link. So I hope this was clear. Coming back to the question, photovoltaic cells, wind turbines and micro hydro turbines, all of them produce electricity using some kind of renewable energy resource. Um, these were all the questions which we had for today. Thank you all for attending today's session and thank you all for listening through.
Yeah, Dr. Nikita,
Yes.
um, just a second.
There is some issue with your audio. If you can just type in
Dr.
the
Nikita,
chat
can you hear
box.
me?
Okay. I can, yes,
Yeah,
now I can hear you.
I logged in a little late, so initially some portion I missed. So I was just wondering, these sort of sessions would be regularly conducted once a week, or how is it like?
Yes, Anthony. Every week we'll have a session. So like every week you have that week of lectures or that week of study material, and you get an assignment every week. Similarly, we have one sort of problem solving session every week, and in this I'll discuss 1 week of lectures and what we have covered that week and some questions related to the lectures in that week. So this is sort of a practice problem solving session in which I'll tell you what are the different material that has been covered and what are the different kinds of questions that might come maybe in your assignment, maybe in your upcoming exams, and I'll tell you how to solve those questions, which material you can use, what are the further reference materials which you might need, where you can get those reference materials, how to use them. There are, I think, some subjective questions also. So these are multiple choice questions. So I'm telling you more about the background material and how to use that. In subjective questions, I'll help you solve them also. So how you can solve the subjective questions.
Yeah,
Mohit is saying, okay, is He's saying that study material will be sent to our email IDs or through Google Classroom. So we have a shared folder. The link to that shared drive folder will be shared with you very shortly. It hasn't been shared till now because I think no live session has been done. So all of the material which I discussed here, so the presentation and any additional material which I downloaded for you, all of them that will be present in that shared folder which we have. So I'm not sharing any of the documents which you can access directly through the links because I have provided links for everything, but other material like uh, that sustainability index report for urban sustainability index report which was there by Arcadis, I have provided that also in the shared folder. Again, these presentations with the links will also be there. So you can just directly access additional materials through the link which will be there in the presentations. Additionally, if you still want anything, if you can't access certain things, you can let me know. I'll add them also to our shared folder. So the link to the shared folder isn't sent to you yet because this is the first session, but after the session, both the recording of the session and the link to the shared folder of everything we discussed in the session will be shared with you shortly. So I hope that is clear. Any other questions? See, a lot of people have joined today. I'm so happy to see you all here. I hope you guys keep coming to the live sessions. It is helpful to you. You can come and ask anything you have doubt about. It can be for the present session, it can be for an earlier session also. So no need to worry if you missed an earlier session and you still have doubts. So in a later session also, if you have some doubt which you couldn't ask, you can come to another session and ask. Seema, you are raising your hand. You have something to ask? Seema, you are raising.
Hello.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, what can you address these classes on Saturday or Sunday?
Actually,
Actually, we are working, and right now I am doing your class in the on the way we are moving. So some concentration is not accurately clear from that.
I'm really sorry that this is the fixed.
Saturday, Sunday, or maybe little bit late. You can means start 7:30 or 8 o'clock. Then it is okay. If you want to in weekdays like that.
Okay, I'm really sorry, but I cannot change the timings of these sessions
A little
because
bit, yeah, just
uh, actually, I'm also a PhD research scholar and I also have regular classes which and I'm doing these sessions apart from my regular TAs or classes, and after that I do these sessions. So we are only given a particular period in which I can do this, and I have chosen Tuesday because according to my schedule, Tuesday is the available time. Tuesday 6 to 8 I have available time when I can take these lectures. Do not worry because all of these are available. Recordings of all of the sessions are available on YouTube. So if you miss a few sessions, you can go to YouTube and you can check the recordings. You can go through the recordings, you can see what I have explained. And if you still have any doubts, there is always the forum. The forum is there. You can directly interact with the course coordinator. You can directly ask any questions you have. So even if you are unable to come to the sessions, no need to worry. You directly go and ask in the NPTEL forum. You can come a little late also, that is also okay, or you can just access the recordings on YouTube also. I hope that is okay. I'm really sorry that I cannot take these lectures in the weekend. Anyone else has any questions, any doubts? Okay, Tanmay is asking, is there any fixed timeline for assignment submission? Yes, Tanmay. In every assignment, you will see a deadline for submission of that assignment. For example, see this here, week 1. If you go to quiz 1 for week 1, okay, you can see here the due date is written here. I hope this is visible to you. So,
Yes.
to submit assignment 1, the due date is 7th February. So by 7th February you have to submit. So for each assignment you will get a due date, and by the due date you need to submit. For example, you can see week 2 assignment also you need to submit by 7th February. Similarly, as gradually different weeks assignments are released, you will get to know what is the time or due date of any assignment. No, Hima, there won't be any extension of the due date. The dates are quite strict, so you have to follow. Enrollment dates get extended because sometimes people cannot enroll, but as you see, we have limited number of weeks in which the courses run, and that is why we have limited amount of time for each for you to cover each week of course material and get through each week's assignment. Okay, so try to stick to the due dates of the assignment.
Yeah, Nikita, one more thing. Week 2 assignment. I think I missed out on the week 1 assignment.
Week 1
Or
assignment, there is still some time. Week 1 assignment is also the due date is 7th February only, so you can still go and do it.
the ones which you just gave out the answers were for the week 1, is it?
No, again, again explaining, the questions which I cover are just practice questions. These are not the questions which are assigned to you right now. These are practice questions which were assigned in previous runs. So I'm taking questions from previous runs, trying to just explain that what kind of questions come and how you can solve them. So while solving the current questions, you don't have any doubts. Or if you have any doubts, you can ask. So the assignments which are assigned to you, you are supposed to solve them on your own independently, because you will be marked based on those assignments. So I do practice questions which are similar to the ones which are assigned to you right now, based on the same material, but they are different questions than the one which are assigned to you right now. Okay.
All right, great. Thank you.
Okay.
Nikita, I have a one question.
Yes.
So, whatever the videos is uploaded, week 1, week 2,
This is
the
the week
video,
one.
yeah, week 1. So there any PPT which is discussed on that video. So that is available. That will be available in shared folder, or
Yes, that will be available in the shared folder. The PPT which I show you, the questions which I discussed, that will be available in the shared folder. So if you want to use that as a reference material to
Mhm,
solve your own questions or for studying, you
mhm.
can use that.
From today itself, it will be available, right?
I'm not sure when the link will be shared with you, but I will upload the session, recording of the session today itself, and I'll upload the study material today itself. As soon
Oh,
as I think, as soon as it is uploaded, the NPTEL team will share it with you.
okay. Or any communication email ID that available for any queries for any student is common. Is there available?
That the
Maybe
forum,
here
the forum is
I
there.
don't know whether to submit any queries. Could you
Okay,
show me
okay. I'll show you. So you see here,
that?
there you see here, ask a question.
Yeah.
So this is where you can go and you can ask any query which you have. So you can see some people have asked questions also. So again, same here. You can send a query. You can start a new conversation. This is directly seen by the course instructor and the associated TAs for this subject. So if you have any query, you can directly ask your question here.
Okay. Great. Great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anything else? Anyone else has any other doubts?
Not on the course, but I was just wondering. I just saw your profile on LinkedIn. Would it be fine that if we can connect with you on LinkedIn?
Yes, sure. You can send me a connection request. I'll get to you.
Okay, thanks.
Any other questions?
So next class will be in the next Tuesday and the same time, right?
Yes. We'll have live sessions every Tuesday, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m.
So total, how many classes will be there? Total?
There are 12 weeks, so we'll have 12 sessions. If you want, we can have an additional session at the end to sort of cover and revise everything. At the end, you have additional doubts, we can hold an extra session, but there are definitely 12 weekly sessions are going to be there for every week.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Yeah, we are. Hello.
Seema, yes?
Yeah, today's class video have to be uploaded somewhere.
Yes, it will be uploaded and the link will be shared with you.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Okay. Anyone else? If there
Thank you
are
so much.
if
Thank you
there
so
are
much.
no further questions, we'll close the session for today. Should I close it?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Okay, thank you all for attending, and I'll see you in the next session on next Tuesday, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.